This is our presentation on the individual factors of nonverbal communication. Communication does not always have to be verbal. Touch is one of the many different individual factors in communication. Some examples of communication through touch could be a handshake, which could mean politeness, hugs, which could mean warmth and friendship, kiss, which could be love or sexual arousal, or a punch, which could show aggression. Communicating through touch can send many different signals or messages to people, and everyone's perspectives are different. Many different factors influence what each type of touch can mean. Here are a few of the influences. What part of the body is being touched, the relationship of the people communicating, how long the touch lasts, whether movement is made after contact, and who is present at the moment. For instance, a kiss can have many different meanings. A kiss on the cheek can signify friendship or love. A kiss on the lips can signify intimate relationship or love. A kiss on the hand can be flirty or used as a sign of respect. And a kiss on the neck can be playful or a use of sexual arousal. Let's consider one of the influences along with our above example, a kiss on the cheek. It can mean many different things. It can mean friendship, love, or now, the relationship of the people communicating can also have an influence on what the kiss can mean. If it's between a boyfriend or girlfriend, it could be a sign of love or affection. From a parent to child, it can mean love. And for two friends or family members, it could be a greeting such as hi or bye. Although touch is very useful in communication, studies have found that touch is also in direct correlation with health. In the 19th and early 20th century, there was a high percentage of babies dying, especially in orphanages where the percentage was as high as almost 100%. After the situation was studied, it was found that these large percentages of death were due to a lack of touch. This is when a process called mothering came into play. This is when the baby is picked up and carried throughout the day. There's evidence that this process worked, and a hospital who practiced mothering dropped fatality rates from 50 to 55% down to 10%. Researchers also found that through touch, premature babies have been able to gain weight, and sick children are often soothed by their mother's touch. Voice is another factor in nonverbal communication. The term paralanguage is used to describe nonverbal vocal messages. The way something is said has an influence on the meaning. Voice can communicate through tone, speed, pitch, volume, number and length of pauses, and disfluences, which are non-linguistic verbalizations such as a stammer. For example, take the phrase, "Yeah, sure, come over." The way it's said can have an influence on the meaning. "Yeah, sure, come over." Said excitedly in a high-pitched voice, the person saying the message shows that they clearly want the person to come over. "Yeah, sure, come over." Said in a dull-pitched voice, the message seems to say, "I'd rather you not come at all." Language can affect behavior. Communicators are most likely to comply with requests delivered by speakers whose rate is similar to their own. Vocal changes that contradict spoken word are not easily hidden. For instance, when someone is scared, their voice seems to be higher and louder, and the rate in which they speak may also be faster than normal. Communication through paralanguage isn't always international. Some vocal factors influence the way a speaker is perceived. If someone spoke quietly in a soft voice, they may be perceived as shy, whereas someone who spoke loud and willingly would be perceived as confident.
Physical attractiveness is important not only in life but in your career as well. It affects the interaction between people. For example, women perceived as attractive get better grades in school, they get more dates, and even get lighter court sentences. It also affects job success. For example, it has been shown that men shorter than 1.77 meters have not only more trouble finding jobs, but also they receive lower starting salaries than men over 1.82 meters. Every human being is beautiful, it just depends on how they use their given equipment, and no plastic surgery is ever needed. Physical attractiveness is something that we can improve ourselves, simply with posture, gestures, facial expressions, and other behaviors that increase attractiveness. Clothing not only protects us from the elements, but it also conveys at least 10 types of messages, which are economic level, educational level, trustworthiness, social position, sophistication level, economic background, social background, educational background, level of success, and moral character. Everyone makes assumptions based on people's clothing that are not always accurate. For example, if you saw a doctor on holiday in wrinkled, dirty clothes, you may assume that he has a poor job and doesn't make a lot of money. It is shown that people are more likely to obey and follow people dressed in a high-class manner than people casually dressed. Nice clothing is necessary for making a good first impression, like on a first date or a job interview, and it can be the difference between a chance to progress further and rejection. Let's look at a couple of examples. In the first picture, based on what the woman's wearing, you can tell that she's a doctor and here to help you get better. And in the second picture, based on the man's uniform, you know that you must follow and obey his orders because he's a police officer.